Welcome to another exciting episode of the Million Dollar Peddlers. I'm Papergoy, and today we're going to look at the top 10 Batman toys out there. It's not actually the top 10 Batman toys. It's not clickbait. We're going to show you some really cool Batman toys. The reason why it's not the top 10 is because the top portion has a whole bunch of 1/6 size toys. As far as, you can see the Bat Boat or you can see the Bat Cycle, etc., etc. But those aren't really things you're going to be able to really find out there. I wanted to show you some pretty expensive, pretty cool things that you actually have a chance to find out there. And make sure you stay tuned to the end. We got a really cool surprise for you at the end as well. Mr. Magazine, eat your heart out. Bet you wish you had all of this stuff. This is actually number 11, but I wanted to put it up because I think it's really cool. Pocket Superheroes Batman. It's went for about $900 here on card. Not a bad little return on investment because if you look on there, there's a $2.99 price sticker. That's going up 300 times. Pretty rare item, though, to say the least, and very tough to find that on card. The 10th toy here that I had found is an interesting one. Batman, Superman, Wonder Woman string puppet store display. Now, you're probably not going to actually find the store display itself out there, but again, it went for $900 or so, something or other like that as well. And pretty neat little item over here. If you find old vintage Batman and things like that, like this, new old stock and store displays, definitely do pick them up. There are some very hardcore collectors out there. I've never seen anything like this in my life, to be quite honest with you, and I've been looking out there for Batman stuff for many years. Number 9 item I found, this actually surprised me that this made it through. Vintage Batman and Robin Space Flyman, Hong Kong rare, and in fact it says Space Flyman at the top, which tells me pretty neat over there with the Batman on it as well, with the wrong colors, the wrong color Batman, and so on. Here is a powerful and wonderful man, also a good fighter, beats off any opponent with his strong muscles. Well, now, that's against copyright and trademark, and God only knows how many other laws were broken with that there. And actually, if DC Comics, Warner Brothers, whoever owns the copyright trademark at this point, did go after this, they could shut this down. So be careful if you do find this out there and listed. I would probably do a private sale on something or other like this, because that could get Vero righted in a moment, because obviously that's a knockoff. I'm pretty sure they didn't pay any licensing fee whatsoever for that. But still, a really neat little thing over there with Batman feeling his pink outfit back in the 1970s. I would guess that to be a 1970s item. Maybe 60s, but really neat item. But again, I would be very careful listing that because you could definitely get Vero'd on that. Number 8 item we found over here, Batman action figure, Mego, 1971, 8-inch tall, new in box and plastic wrap. So there's the box. Doesn't look like much of a box whatsoever there. He's still wrapped up and taken out of the box to display and show the picture there. $1,100 a night with 38 bids. Nice little item there. I mean, it's going to be as mint can be because it's still in the original plastic wrap. Next, I thought this was interesting. San Diego Comic Con 2010. And I thought it was interesting because I probably went to that San Diego Comic Con back in the day. I did not think to buy a Funko Pop. Had I done so, I probably could have paid for my entire vacation. Force 2.0 DC Blue Batman clamshell, damaged, opened. I looked at it, and when you read the description, it doesn't really say anything's damaged on it. It's just that it had been opened and displayed. But if that's worth $1,225 like that, it was an exclusive as well. So they didn't make a lot of them to start with. Funko wasn't huge back in 2010, so that's probably part of the reason as well. But what's it worth if it were, mint sealed? Who knows? Up next, this I thought was interesting. First off, not a great picture with the glare on it, but Mego Montgomery Ward's alter ego secret identity Bruce Wayne Batman 1974. This was an exclusive. It was a send-away available through the catalog. And I found it interesting that they actually took the time to make a box for a send-away like this. They could have just sent the item itself in some kind of like a wrapped up basically and sent it over to somebody. Because how many kids are going to have, oh wow, it's a box, and open it up? They don't care. So that's kind of a really, really rare item, though, because again, that went for about $1,300, somewhere in that ballpark for one of these. Just a very rare item, to say the least, because again, it was send away, and yeah, I know it's kind of cool that you got a Bruce Wayne and then you turn him into a Batman, but wouldn't it be way cooler to get a superhero figure when you got down to it? So probably not a ton of people ordered those to start with. Up next, Batman, the Animated Series GCPD Rogues Gallery 5-pack. He had originally listed at $2,000, marked it down to $1,500, and it sold, or allegedly sold. That says sold there, right there on it. 5 figures, he claims. I'm seeing 4. There must be another one somewhere in there. Must be hidden away somewhere. Oh, it broke out, I guess. Interesting little item over here. I have never seen anything at all like that whatsoever. Must be huge, though, because of $70 shipping on that as well. So it must be a gigantic figure as well to cost $70 to ship. But a neat item nonetheless. Next up, I wanted to show you 2 different of these and show you something a little bit odd that I saw. Ideal Captain Action Batman uniform and equipment, all original, unused. Just a nice looking figure. For those of you who don't know, Captain Action was kind of put out as an action figure. Well, duh. But he would have, I believe he had the Green Hornet, he had Batman, he might have had Superman. He had a whole bunch of different costumes that he could put on and be able to, fight crime and all these different identities. And they actually did a Captain Action comic book, and if I remember correctly, I think Neil Adams did the artwork on the first issue as well. So very, very neat item over here. You'll find the Captain Action stuff. You just don't tend to find it sealed like this. And look at all the great little things with it there, with the Batwing and all that fun stuff over there. But a different one went for $2,200 with even more bids. One bid. So this gentleman started it at $19.95, got one bid. This gentleman started it lower, ended up with 13 bids. So there is something to be said for starting the auction off lower and getting bids, because take a look as well. This looks to be opened, and it's a much worse picture. As far as this picture just jumps out at you as a nice picture, this is not nearly as nice of a picture. Sometimes you get people hooked into the bidding and your prices do end up going a little bit higher. Just something to keep in mind out there. Up next, number 3 on our list. This would be frightening. Displayed J&D Studios Joker Heath Ledger 1/3 scale statue. $2,500. They sell for about $2,000 on up. There were a number of them that sold. But 1/3 scale, that's a couple of feet tall, looking like that. Yeah, I don't think I want that sitting in the corner of the bedroom, sitting up on a pedestal or something. You wake up and see that. Yeah, that would induce nightmares, would it not? But a really, really neat item over there. 1/3 scale. And the second most expensive Batman toy that I picked out for you guys was a D1 Vintage Kenner Superpowers Batman action figure, AFA 75 Plus, which is a high grade on an action figure. Really nice item right over there. $2,700 on that over there. So just a nice item. Shows what happens when you get a high grade on an item. And the top selling toy, and again, there were a number of different versions of this, different type things over here. This was the best one, was the Batwing vehicle 1/6 scale. There were other 1/6 scales as well from this company of different Batman items. Went for $3,099. I looked it up, and it actually went for $2,500 new. So you're not talking cheap new to start with. $219 to ship that puppy. So you're talking $3,300 thereabouts all in on it. It would have run you $2,500 plus shipping to start with. So you're not going to find that out there. Somebody's not going to be selling that for $5. They're just not going to be. But I kind of wanted you to see what the top of the line Batman items were. I got a couple of other neat little bonus items for you here today. How neat is that? $5,200. Not a toy, so I didn't count it in the other countdown. But Batman Forever Pinball Machine arcade game working. Player's condition refurbished. Really, really neat item right over there. I can't imagine you're ever going to find one of those out there either, unless it's from a specialty type dealer. But still really, really a neat item to see, and a neat item to have if you have like a game room or men's cave or something other like that. Really, really neat item for that. Another interesting bonus item over here. This is kind of the holy grail of golden books. Batman almost got him. 9.8. Key first appearance of Harley Quinn. She appeared in this, and a lot of people don't know this. Complete bolo. She appeared in this prior to appearing in any comic books whatsoever. Gentleman got $4,100 out of a kid's book. That was graded 9.8. You may see this up ahead in a future top 10 if I ever do a top 10 kids book. So you guys know, and you'll say, oh, I can skip right to number one. I know what it is. Again, really nice book out there. Do keep your eyes open for it because they do turn up from time to time. You can find them in thrift stores, things like that. Not everybody knows this. So memorize this cover, and if you find it out there, let us know. The number one Batman item of all on there was a Batman number 181 high grade, which indeed it was, a CGC 9.4. First appearance of Poison Ivy. It's a Key Silver Age comic book. It's a $15,000 book, something like that in that grade. Even low grade ones are going to run you several $100s. So if you do have this sitting in your collection somewhere, you see it out there, somebody's got it beat up on their table for $50, buy it. It's going to be worth more than that, just to let you know. And the bonus item over here, this is really interesting. This is not technically Batman. It is the R144 set, Strange True Stories complete set. $7,500 essentially the set went for, 24 cards. I did some searching on it, research on it, and it is indeed a scarce set. I mean, you're talking crazy money per card. You're talking about $300 per card. So if you do ever see any cards from the set out there, do definitely pick them up. But here's the neat thing. The Batman, looking like that, 1936. Batman, the comic book, came out in 1939. Makes you wonder if Bob Kane saw this card at some point prior to doing his comic book, doesn't it? Don't know. Have no idea. So hopefully you found this informative and a little bit of fun. It is fun to go through the top sales and talk a little bit about them there. Do hit the like button if you could, and we will see you next video.